All right, hello, people of Earth, and welcome to another episode of the Just for Giggles podcast. I'm your host, Aubrey Friedrich, and it has come to my attention because I looked at the calendar a little bit ago that this is the last episode before the holidays. So, got an ugly sweater on. Fun fact about this sweater actually, I've had this sweater since the seventh grade, and obviously it fit me like a dress in seventh grade, and it's still a little long now. It's still a little big now, honestly, but sweater's a sweater. It's got a cat on it. Anyway, enough said. I've had quite the plethora of experiences since the last time I sat down and talked with y'all. So I guess we're just gonna jump in. I don't really know what else to say from that. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I just want to say I know the holidays might be hard for some people out there, whether that's a new feeling this year or it's a feeling that you've had for several years or you just don't like the holidays at all. But I hope that all of you can find a little bit of joy in something small, whether it's, I don't know, the smell of peppermint or the snow that may or may not be falling in your area, because I don't think there's going to be any in mine, or just smiles on people's faces. I hope you can learn to make the most of this holiday season. We're in this together. Okay, let's get into the stupid things that have happened to me since I've sat down to talk to you last. I went and saw Wicked the other week with Hopeland and Fairy and one of Hopeland's friends. And we showed up, great, brought my refillable popcorn bucket, next level finesse. Also, I'm gonna drop a hack with y'all because anytime I've shared this with anybody, they're like, I've never thought of that. That's genius. If you ever get one of those refillable popcorn buckets, whether you're bringing it from a previous use or you're buying it there, bring a gallon-sized Ziploc bag with you. So when you get into the cinema itself, dump the popcorn into the Ziploc bag, go get it refilled, and do it as many times as you want so you have popcorn for the entire movie. What are they going to do? Tell you no? They're probably just going to think you're like a popcorn inhaler or you're making a big fat mess inside the theater. Enough said. But anyway, we show up and we're walking to the little, I don't even know, I think it was like Cinema One, they told us. And we walked by this little like Wicked display thing. It was like a backdrop, and then there was like a little yellow brick road that was like laying on the floor. And I was like, we should take a picture in front of this or something. And we went to find seats first, and then we came back out, took some fun goofy little pictures. I People probably thought we were crazy, but I it's kind of hard for me to think. Like, I don't really get embarrassed that much, honestly, because I just don't let myself be embarrassed, because it's only embarrassing if you allow it to be. And then we walked back into the theater and we were late because the movie had already started. We were like 3 minutes late. But the movie, oh my goodness, I know there's some people out there that think it was like really dumb or like they didn't like it, but I tell you what, I loved that thing. And I like, just when I thought the plot couldn't get any thicker, more stuff just kept happening. And I was like, whoa, that's actually insane. I I loved it all around. It was phenomenal. It was great. Absolutely cinema. I loved it. I think, I've mentioned this probably in almost every single episode, because I don't know, it's half of my life. I work in the beauty industry, and because of that, I wear makeup to work every single day. Not because I feel obligated to, but because I'm like a creative person and I think it's just like a nice way of self expression. And since it's dry season, like the mucus and phlegm production is going at a more rapid rate. So, what really, really makes me angry, because it's happened to me several times over the past like month, is freshly applied mascara and it looks great. The lashes are lashing, if you will, and then I sneeze. And then there's mascara literally everywhere. And it sucks, especially when I'm like not necessarily running late, because I'm pretty good about leaving the house on time. But there's times when I'm like, oh, I wish I had left a couple minutes earlier. I've literally never been late before, but it's time for like that little bit of panic and paranoia sets in, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't even. I just can't. The other night I was trying to fall asleep and I was not having a lot of luck with it. And I was sitting there like, we literally have to pretend to fall asleep in order to fall asleep. I know that's not a very original thought because I think I've heard somebody else say it before, but it was just something I was just like, wow, isn't that just crazy? Anywho, I don't know if I mentioned this like last week or the week before or at all, but I started reading Powerless by what's her name? Lauren Roberts, I think, and I finished it. And that book was so good. So good. Like 85% of the way through. And then for like the last 15%, all it did was make me angry. I was furious. So now I've started Reckless and I'm not that far into it yet, but I the amount of sheer like rage that filled my soul. It just I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you. The number of things I can be thinking about in any particular given moment is absolutely insane. And I've come to realize that like I'll be like sitting on my bedroom floor at night like stretching cuz I just got to get it in before you go to bed, loosen up, release the tension, yoga, whatever you want to call it. And I'll be thinking about like three different things, like what I have to do tomorrow, what happened today, what else happened today, just other things like that. And it's just like insane. No wonder my life's a mess and I can never keep things straight because I'm thinking about all of it at one time. The other day, I went to church for, I think it was the Immaculate Conception. I don't know. Memory beats me, but it's a Catholic holy day of obligation. And I was like, okay, what mass can I go to make it work in my schedule? And they had one at 8 a.m. And I was like, okay, great. I have to be at work at 9. It's going to be fine. Mass is about an hour. But the mass was K to 12. So they had every student that goes to that school there. It was fun, like silently waved to a couple of the people that I like, some acquaintances of mine. Like one of my coworkers' daughters even waved at me. But I was sitting alone in one of like the small side pews, and our I don't I think she might still be the study hall monitor to this day. Don't quote me. I don't follow along with a lot of stuff that happens in that school anymore. Just little bits and pieces. But she was like walking up and down that aisle a couple times, and I could just be like totally full of it. She could either be trying to like find these people's spouses so they can sit together, or she's just like trying to find room for them to sit. But she put people in like every single pew but mine. Well, not every single, but like she put somebody in a pew in front of me, somebody in the pew directly behind me. And I was like, she either just loves me that much or loves me that much. I don't know if she's watching this because I know she watched a previous episode because she left a comment somewhere. So, hey, you can clarify whether or not that whole statement is true or not, or you can just laugh about it to yourself. That's fine. I was thinking on my drive to work one day, separate day. Actually, after that mass, I was still late to work because there were so many people there. It was only by a couple minutes, but you know what? It's fine because I work just like down the road from the church. But anyway, on my way to work on a separate day, I don't know where this came from, but I was like, it makes me angry when like D-list celebrities or like influencers will sell their like unwanted clothes on like Depop or something. Like you already have enough money, go take it to the freaking Goodwill or your local thrift store. Like are we serious? Like I don't have that much money. I've got enough. But I was like, I donate mine to the local thrift store all the time. And I go thrifting a lot. Don't get me wrong. It just I don't know. It was something that was crazy. On my way home from work the other day too, I just sound like a workaholic. I have a life, I promise. But I was at a stoplight and the car in front of me threw their cigarette on the road. I'll tell you what, that made me so angry because like what What are they trying to do? Have somebody's car explode or something? Like, are you that dumb? Like, are we for real? Because who knows if they properly extinguished the dang thing? Like, what? And don't get me, I don't condone smoking or vaping because, like, care about your lungs, dude. Care about your lungs. But that just, like, filled me with such a distinct and different kind of rage that I didn't know could exist in my body. The other day, this was actually like yesterday or the day before. Um, I woke up and I was just like, every single day I wake up and I'm angry at my alarm because I was like, are you serious? The alarm that I purposefully set rang and woke me up. Like, are we serious? And I'm just not a morning person. But then I go to eat breakfast because I've grown to like breakfast because I know if I don't eat it, all of my coworkers are going to hate me because of the way I act, and I'm going to hate all of them because I'm just in a bad mood because I'm not a morning person. I used to never eat breakfast like back when I was in like school and stuff. Mostly because I quote unquote didn't have time or didn't want to, but I would drink a glass of coffee on an empty stomach because that was healthy and smart. No, no, that's probably why. That definitely explains a lot. Now I'm a big breakfast person. Maybe I think I've also allowed myself like 15 minutes more than what I used to when I came to getting ready for school. Mostly because when I got ready for school every day, like literally from K to 12, it was the uniform every single day, except for like the couple dress down days or jean days or whatever you want to call them. We had those every once in a while. Or a lot of the times we'd have to pay to wear those jeans. And it's not like paying was a bad thing because most of the time they were for a fundraiser or something for some specific cause. So it's not like we were just paying to, I don't know. It was fun little things like that. But I just never had to think about what I was gonna wear. I was just like, okay, I have a clean shirt, clean bottoms. Okay, we're set. We're good to go. So I just didn't feel the need to wake up all that early. And I think I gave myself like 45 minutes to get ready in the morning, which granted for some people that's like some people wake up like 15 minutes before they leave. I swear that's what a lot of guys do because they just don't care. But no shame, you do you. Whatever toots your flute, I guess. But now, hang on, let me do some quick math. Yeah, I give myself like an hour and 15 minutes to get ready every morning. I don't have to rush though, because I keep it relatively like I hate having to rush in the morning because that just like ensues panic in my mind. Although it is a bit of a give or take every single day because my alarm goes off at 7, but I hit snooze until about 7:30. I think snoozing things might be a little bit problematic. I don't know because it might just be messing with my sleep cycle. It's probably also a bit of a thing where I don't go to sleep from anywhere from like 11:30 to 12:30. Normally when it hits 12, I'm like, go to bed. You need to go to bed like now. So I don't know. I try to get to bed at a decent time. I do my best. I've buried the lead, the story we've all been waiting for. The other week, I think this might have been last week. Yeah. I bought my first car. Woo! Let's go, my cutie patootie. Just because I don't want y'all stalking me, I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but she's a cutie. I am the third owner of the vehicle though, so you already know it wasn't that expensive. And it was all fun and games. I was like, it all started with one. I was at work one day, and it was a Tuesday, so it was my long day at the salon, and I was actively, literally pouring a load of towels into the washing machine, and my phone starts vibrating in my pocket, and it's my dad, and I'm just like, why are you calling me? Like, because he's like, are you busy with a client right now? No, I thought he was about to tell me somebody like died or is in the hospital. I thought he was about to drop some seriously bad news. I was terrified. And he was like, so on my way to my massage this morning, because he gets them regularly for his like lower back or whatever. And I saw this. new car in their like used lot or whatever. And I was like, okay. And he was like, so on my way back home, I went and stopped and I went to talk to the dealer guy. And I'm driving, do you want to see it? So he drove the car to work. He drove it to my place of work. Good thing I had a pretty chill afternoon. So I spent like 45 minutes just in the parking lot looking at this car. It was all fun and games, but I pretty quickly decided that I was going to buy the car because well, I had been looking for one for a couple months just because I wanted a car that was like my own. You know what I'm saying? And it it wasn't like a low sitting to the ground car because as a tall person plopping down and then like jumping back out of a short car, I just didn't want to do that, and I obviously didn't want to drive a truck, so we got that happy medium. Anything obviously with being the third owner, it's got a little bit of a dent. However it was caused was never reported. It's never been in an accident, which is nice. It's got a couple scratches, but it's all just mild cosmetic issues. So it was all fine. It's got heated front seats, although the driver's one doesn't really work, but it has a heated steering wheel and I'd rather have a heated wheel, honestly. It's got Bluetooth. Let's go. It's just nice. I still have to like, make it more of a my space. I need to put like a first aid kit in there, like a spare blanket or coat for if anything ever happens and I'm stuck in the cold. I need to get a snow scraper there in there too. It's gonna happen. But yeah, I thought we were gonna buy it. My dad took it back to the dealership and he had to put like I think he put like $100 down so they couldn't sell it to somebody else. I ended up paying my dad back. I paid for the car myself, guys. And it was all fun and games. So then we were just like waiting for a day when me and my dad, because my dad ended up going with me, not that it would have mattered if it was my dad or my mom that went with me, so that I could go like sign the paperwork and all of that jazz. And I show up and I'm actually, no. I've got my whole stories confused. I think the day after he showed it to me, we went back so I could give it a test drive and it was fun. I was definitely like a little scared. I was like, I don't own this sucker. Like, I don't want to die. But I walked into the dealership just to talk to the guy, ask if we could take it for a drive and get the key, of course. And we walked in and the dealer was in the bathroom, but I went and I showed up like in the parking lot super excited and then I walked in and I immediately just got like nervous and I like froze and like went silent. Which if you know me, that's not me at all. I'm not really one to willingly go silent unless like obviously it's an appropriate time to do so. So that was a treat and a half. But I was like, yep, I think we're good to go. I think I'm gonna get it. So a couple days go by because they still had to finish like detailing it and stuff because the back of the car still had yet to be detailed. um we go back a couple days later and I sign all the paperwork, all of that jazz. Still like literally so freaked out. And then I drove it off the lot and I was like, holy cow, I own this thing. Wow, that's insane. And then that night, I had to go to a shift at, just my favorite place ever, the bowling alley. And I drove it there. Probably shouldn't have, considering what I'm about to say next. I'm on the road, of which the bowling alley is on, and there's somebody pulled over on the other side of the road. So I'm being a little bit cautious because the oncoming traffic is using the median. And the next thing I know, there's bright lights behind me. I'm like, surely I'm being punked right now. Like, what is going on? So I pull over, and then the officer shows up at my window, and I'm like violently shaking. Like, I probably could have let myself cry at any given moment, but no tear fell from my eyes, although like they were obviously looking like I was going to. And the officer was like, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And my voice of reason in my mind genuinely had no idea. So I started going through all of the the default things. I was like, "Was I speeding?" I was not speeding. I was probably not even close to speeding because I was like right by a freaking stoplight. And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Is there something wrong with like a tail light or my plates or something?" "No." And he's like, "Do you seriously have no idea?" And I was like, "No, just tell me." My lights weren't on. My lights were not on because every vehicle I've ever driven has had automatic headlights, but that one doesn't. Should I have learned that while I was looking at the car? Yeah. But it's not something that just sits at the top of your head, or at least wasn't sitting at the top of my head. So that made for a treat. And he asked for my license and proof of insurance. I hand him my license, with that crusty, dusty picture of 16-year-old me. And I was like, I just bought this car a couple hours ago. And he's like, okay, so there's probably no insurance on it yet. And I was like, no. So he takes my license to his car. I have no idea how long it normally takes to run a license, but it took him forever. And he comes back, hands it back to me, and I'm still like violently shaking. And while I'm sitting there, I text my dad. I'm like, this just happened. I should have. He comes back to the car and he's like, why are you so worked up? And I was just like, I'm scared because genuinely, when he walked up to my window, I was like, the first and only things in my mind were, what did I do wrong? How big is my fine going to be? And what are my parents going to say when I tell them about this? But genuinely, why would he expect me to be calm? Because, like, 19-year-old girl, no prior violations, never been pulled over in my life, and I just bought that car. So, in what world would you expect me to be calm? What world would you expect me to be calm? And he's like, well, I'm just going to let you off with a warning, okay? Just make sure your lights are on. We can't have you driving without them on. And I was like, okay, I'm just on my way to work right now. And he's like, oh, where do you work? Up at the bowling alley, just like, like 1,000 feet from where we're parked right now. Oh, jeez. So I showed up late to that job. That was the same day I showed up late to the salon, actually. So I showed up late to both of my jobs. I still have them both, so my working at the salon is pretty, it's a more laid back thing. Obviously, if you don't show up at all, there's going to be a problem. So I showed up to the bowling alley, still like violently shaking and freaking out. And in order to get to the kitchen, of which where I just love to work, I have to walk by the bar, and and I'm just holding the key to show the bartender. The bartender is not my boss, but maybe or maybe not. I don't know if they're going to see this, but on a personal level, I like the bartender more than my boss. I feel like there's probably a lot of people out there that can agree in some aspects. And she's like, "Did you buy a car? What is it?" I tell her, and I was like, "You want to?" And then like I walk into the bar, and I point at the clock, and I was like, "You see what time it is right now?" And I was like, "I was supposed to be here 5 minutes ago. You want to guess why I'm late?" And she's like, "Did you get pulled over?" So I tell her the whole story. Still, like, I don't. It was like actually like probably the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Well, it's up there for sure because there's probably things that are tied with it, but nothing in the legal world has ever scared me so bad. So now we're just tying the last couple things with like the title since it's like under my name and just waiting for various papers to come in the mail and then we're all set and good to go. Ah, geez. What a life I'm living. To wrap this episode up on a bit of a wholesome note on my part, I don't know, it was just something that was very heartwarming to me. I was talking to my little sister the other day, and I think I was like doing the dishes or something. I was talking about this pod and like my future plans for like the rest of the year or just like various things that I was going to do. And she was like, "You know, I feel like if you get discovered, people would think you're funny." And I looked at her like deep into her soul and I was like, "I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me." That does mean a lot to me. It really does. So maybe you guys think I'm funny, maybe you guys think I'm awkward and that makes me funny. If I were to ever watch any of these episodes back, I don't know if I could do it. Especially like the first handful, I probably think especially the first one. Ooh, sorry, I just hit the mic. Sorry for any awkward crunch that you just heard. I don't think I could ever bring myself to listen to that back ever ever again. There's still some moments even in like recent episodes where I'm like, "Oh, that little part's awkward." But I don't know. I do have some fun things lined up for the next couple weeks, though. I'm very excited. And again, I hope you guys find some joy out of this since I've started it, which is crazy that I've been doing this since what, like July, August, maybe? I have no idea. I hope I've made you smile or laugh or something like that. And I hope you guys have a very happy Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, I hope you're having a good week, a good month. You're finishing off the year on a good note. And if you're not, I hope things soon improve for you so that you can continue to be a light for this world because the world is a better place with you in it. Thank you so much for watching and cue the non existent outro.